Believe it or not, 2025, as far as video games go, is going to be stacked, son. Okay, I'm telling you right now, I've legit made up a list of the games that I'm looking forward to for the upcoming year in no particular order. Okay, so I want you guys to keep that in mind. But first of all, how are you? How are you doing? If this is your first video on this channel, please consider subscribing to me if you guys want more content like this. I know it's completely early to say that right now, but I've gotten so bored that I had no choice but to say it, I guess. So either way, guys, let's get into it. So without further ado, the games that I'm looking forward to in 2025 that are either on my radar or about to be on my radar, but I have yet to see gameplay of some of these games. Okay, now mind you, half of these games might or might not come out next year, you know, depending on whether these games get delayed next year, because I have a feeling around 80% of the games that I'm about to list in a moment might get delayed at some point. So when they do get delayed, don't be shocked, because I told you so. Okay, just know that. All right, but anyways, let's get into it. So the first game I'm looking forward to off rip is Dynasty Warriors Origins, and that comes out in January of next year. Now, believe it or not, this game I did not think I would be interested whatsoever, but if you guys have been paying attention to my recent videos of me covering the demo for this game as of late, bro, let me say this right now, and mind you, I have been playing Dynasty Warriors games before, I just never owned one. Okay, now that might be crazy to say, not really, but in terms of me going up with Dynasty Warriors, I really haven't until like later years, to where like in this day and age I am open to try mini games as much as I can this time around. And so Dynasty Warriors beforehand was one of those franchises to where, you know, if they have a demo that's available still online or on system, guaranteed I'm going to try it out just to kill some boredom. Okay, just to kill time. So I have done that for Dynasty Warriors, I think 9 Empires. I have the demo for that. I have the demo for DW Gundam, Samurai Warriors 5, and so on and so forth. That's pretty much all I can remember. But playing a Dynasty Warriors game for next gen was different for me. Okay, so from the gameplay standpoint, in my opinion, I feel like Dynasty Warriors is going to be one of those games, if I do end up getting it later on down the road, I'm going to try my hardest to put a lot of time and effort into the hack and slash 1v1000 gameplay approach they put in Dynasty Warriors Origins. So again, visually it looks exceptional in my opinion, even with the, I don't know exactly what engine they were using, the Omega engine. I have no idea who, I don't know what engine they were using. All I know is that Omega Force is developing the game still, like they have normally been, you know, developing every other Dynasty Warriors game up until this point. So therefore, for this being my true exposure into what's to come, then yeah, if they, you know, keep it up, I might actually consider picking the game up later on down the road. It might not be a day one cop, that's for sure, but when I do get my hands on it, guaranteed I'm going to try to put more hours into it than I have in the demo. Okay, however, I will never forgive them. I will never forgive Koei Tecmo for that Lubu boss battle. For those of you that have not watched the videos, you will not believe the amount of rage and pain and frustration that me had to suffer through that demo. Okay, I had to like restart that match around 9 or 10 times, but guess what? Yours truly got it done regardless. Okay, I managed to beat that boss fight luckily by locking in and focusing. Okay, but regardless of the case, guys, Dynasty Warriors Origins, I might consider getting that game, so we'll see. Next up is Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, I've been playing Monster Hunter really for the first time since Monster Hunter Rise, when it was available on PS Plus a while back, and so I've been getting in tune with Monster Hunter recently with that game. And then when Wilds got announced, I was like, okay, cool, Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out, you know, next year, and I did did play the beta, and for those of you that watched my footage on me playing the beta, you guys should know by now, if not some of you at least, should realize that I did actually enjoy the game. You know, I actually had a satisfying time, especially playing online with other people via co-op and multiplayer. So yeah, guaranteed Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be another game that I might consider picking up next year later on down the road, just from my experience putting in 4 hours into that beta. I'm not joking. Here's a screenshot right here if you want proof. 4+ hours into the beta. Since when does that happen? But anyways, moving on, we have Death Stranding 2. Possibly I might get that game next year. Listen, I did play the first one a little bit. Okay, I made it past the 2-hour mark. But the thing is though, those delivery missions is what really held the game back, at least for me, to the point where I had to put the game down because of that. Like, bro, that's the thing. The tedious nature of those delivery missions, like, low-key, I don't know, bro, but you know, one day I might pick the game back up to finish it because I have yet to explore more of what the game had to offer. And mind you, from the fact that the announcement trailer, when it was first revealed, that trailer looked so cool and interesting in the first place, that alone was the very sole reason why I even picked up Death Stranding 1 to begin with. But again, I don't know, I might have to pick the game back up to finish it, who knows. And then of course, GTA 6. I mean, come on, it's GTA 6. Who isn't going to get GTA 6 next year? I guarantee you I'm getting it next year at some point. I bet you that. So GTA 6 is easily on my radar. Then after that, Mafia: The Old Country. Now get this. I personally have never been in tune with any of the Mafia games, as in playing them for myself. Like, I know what they're about. I'm familiar with the franchise, but I never got a chance to play any of the games. So seeing Mafia: The Old Country, I'm not sure if this is going to be a good starting point for newcomers like me, or I have to really get into the older games to see how the story progresses in the lore and whatever. But from what we've seen thus far, I didn't know what to think at first when this game was announced that the story is going to take place in the 1900s. But after seeing the recent trailer from the Game Awards, everything seems to make sense, at least for right now. But if I'm going to be interested, I need to see more gameplay of it, okay? So Mafia: The Old Country is going to be a big if for me once again. But you know, if I do see gameplay at some point later on down the road, then who knows, I might give it a chance at some point. Then after that, Metal Gear Solid 3. Now, again, I have never been in tune with Metal Gear Solid whatsoever, but I have heard that this game is supposedly the first game in the lore as far as the Metal Gear Solid stories go. This takes place sometime in the 1960s, if I'm not mistaken. So if this is true, this could be the perfect chance for me to get into this as a newcomer. However, if not, I might have to play the older games with the Metal Gear Solid collection. I forgot that came out not too long ago, so I can play it that way. Either way, the gameplay looks good, okay? Visually, it looks fantastic with the engine they've been using thus far for this game. So even though I have a feeling it may get delayed sometime next year, even if it does come out in 2025, it could get delayed, okay? I wouldn't be shocked if it does, but just in case if it doesn't, Metal Gear Solid 3, if it does end up coming out next year, it's going to be on my radar from there. Anyways, Ghost of Yotei. Now, believe it or not, I did 100% complete and platinumed Ghost of Tsushima, okay? It's a fantastic game, still holds up to this very day. Like, for real, if you guys have yet to play that game, give it a chance. I promise you it's worth playing, okay? It's peak fiction. Now, this game, however, from what I have seen, it is interesting. I might give it a chance, but I have yet to see gameplay. And on top of that, the fact that Twitter is going through this whole culture war about the female protagonist in Ghost of Yotei, I have yet to figure out her name. That's none of my business. So I'm not going to go too deep into that because what's even the point, right? And so Ghost of Yotei, regardless of the case, I'm going to be looking forward to that next year. Then Doom: The Dark Ages. Now this right here is a questionable one for sure, because I may or may not get this game next year. I mean, I have seen gameplay for it and it looks fun. It's just that I'm not personally a big fan of the Doom games, okay? Not because they're too violent, okay? I've been played violent games beforehand in the past. Okay, so I'm not new to the blood and gore. Okay, trust me, I've seen it before. It's just that with this game in particular, it's different for my taste. Okay, I've been playing shooting games for nearly all my life. However, this day and age, I don't know. I really don't be in tune with that many shooting games as much as I used to from a certain standpoint. So Doom the Dark Ages, I might or might not get it next year. Who really knows? However, gameplay wise and visual wise and soundtrack wise, it does look fun. Okay, it looks like a fun time. So moving on, we got Split Fiction. Now, this game is interesting to say the least, because the sci-fi aspect of this interesting co-op game here piqued my interest just a little bit. Okay, I've seen gameplay from the recent trailer we've seen so far, but I need to see just a tad bit more if I'm really going to get interested. And on top of that, I normally don't be playing co-op games, so this may be the first. The thing is though, I don't really know who to play this game with. Like, who is really going to be my partner if I'm going to play this game? That's a question for a different day though. So Split Fiction, again, it looks like a fun time, so I might try that out, especially for the sci-fi aesthetics and all that. Then Pirate Yakuza. Here's the thing, I just got into the series with Yakuza Kiwami. However, I should have been played Zero, because even though I did realize that it was a prequel, I've been known it was a prequel beforehand, I've just been plain stupid just playing Kiwami 1 instead of Yakuza 0. That's a shame on me. But this game, however, I was a bit skeptical because of the whole pirate aesthetics. This direction in particular, it was too different for my taste, okay? Because I've been familiar with this whole Yakuza underworld grounded setting that the franchise has been known for. But pirates, however, that raised a big eyebrow for me. But after seeing the gameplay afterwards, I was like, yo, these folks might be cooking this time. So low-key, I need to see more gameplay before I pick it up next year, but it's on my radar for sure because of that. So yeah, man, those are my anticipated games for 2025. If you got a list of games that you're looking forward to next year, let me know down below in the comment section. Okay, like the video if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications. It's been viral, and we out, baby.
We won't be intimidated by criminal threats.